Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of 7 Days to Die. Today we are covering Horde Bases. So a few varying things with Horde Bases. Style versus the compactness or the usefulness of each base. And for that and for our testing, we have brought along Sephian. How are we today, Sephian?
Oh, just dandy. How are you?
I'm good. I can see you ready and set in our first test of our Horde base. This is a generic kind of style that you get in a lot of people's kind of videos and stuff like that. So let's have a look at the makeup of it. So we've done it in, so because it's still early doors, we've upped the level of the zombies because it isn't Horde night, unfortunately. It was too much of a timing, so we've ramped them up. They're on insane difficulty. They always run, and we're going to be spawning in loads of them. So you're going to have some fun soon, Sephian. This is our crash test dummy. Looking good. We've kitted him out with an AK. He's got no body armor because, well, let's face it, if they reach him, he's going to die. So
Yeah, it was painful just getting to this spot.
so let's have a look and see what our base is made of. So as you can see, we're using some poles here. Now the idea of the poles is that the zombies don't hit them, they hit in between and don't cause as much damage. And for that to happen, we've made the ground nice and level here so that they shouldn't be able to hit them too much. Now they will hit it and they will eventually break in, and then we will move up to the top section where we can still attack the zombies, and hopefully they'll end up breaking that and then they can't get up. They'll be wandering inside here, and Sephian should be getting plenty of XP killing them. Now this is the perks of this one. This is the first one that we want to be showing. The perks of this is all the way around this base. You've got great coverage, as you can see. Anywhere you can see the whole base at any time. Downside is there isn't much in the way of support. If you get a large horde and they manage to take out the corners, then your building will collapse, which is why we've supported it with the outer section. So hopefully the inner and outer section and the middle section here should support the building. Now that's one of the downsides to this style of building here, is the support, and obviously how you get up and down it, which is, well, Sephi's just showing us here now. You're going to have to block that off as it's done, and that's your way up and down really. And you've got some spikes here to stop them from, well, to damage them. And you've got the spikes all the way around, giving us defense for our first base. Don't worry about the concrete for now, we'll discuss that in a moment. That is, well, we'll do it now actually. This is the way you're going to be heading as you're leveling and upgrading. Once you've got yourself a cement mixer, you got access to cement. This is what you will replace the spikes and the sorry, not spikes, the bars and the little planks here. These are replaced by this because you can still shoot in and out, but obviously they're a greater strength and it'll take the zombies a lot longer to get through. I usually put 2 or 3 layers of them, and it usually slows them down enough for you to take them out and get your lovely XP and some sweet loot as well at the same time. So let's test this base and see how it handles with our wandering hordes, and let's see how Sephian does taking them out and see what our kind of viewing advantages are as they come.
Oh, here they come.
So our first wave, as you can see, there is minimal damage to the building, and Sephian will have gained a fair amount of XP as well. And certainly on a Horde night where the zombies will just continue to come, he's going to gain himself plenty of XP there, and hopefully that XP you can then get yourself some nice perks and move yourself forward a lot quicker. So let's see how he does with some more zombies, and we'll put some harder zombies in as well, such as the police as well, just to see how this base holds out. Let's go. So the zombies did finally get to break in, but we did send in 75 of them all at once, and you'll never get that. But as you can see, they only broke in a small section here, and they were massively funneled. So had there been a delay on how long it took them to get there, the likelihood is they would have probably never broken through in the first place, but you'd have funneled them enough to just lay loads of ammo into them, and you'd have probably survived. You'd have certainly had a bit of enough of a delay to get yourself up the stairs, up to here, and then lay in your fire from down below, because this is a primary defense and that's your secondary defense up there. And yeah, so this design here, as you can see, is all about giving yourself exposure for attacking the zombies. Now we're going to have a look at the second kind of defensive way of doing it. Now this way is more about survival, so less about killing the zombies, more about staying alive. This guarantees pretty much your survival, and the way that does it is because it's a 10 by 10, the likelihood of the zombies being able to break enough walls to collapse this building on top of you is very slim. And if we go inside here like so, you can see there is a secondary defense here, so that they've got to break through one lot of doors, then through to the second lot of doors, up to here, and then attack you. Meanwhile, you can just break the ladder here, shut the hatch down, and the likelihood of them getting up, they will actually break the ladder before they get up to you. So let's see how this second base survives when we put Sephian back into this one and we send plenty of zombies after him. And let's see what's remaining afterwards and how it looks. So as you can see with this defense, we have a lot less view. Once they get to the building, we can't do anything about it. We can't attack them. We can attack them while they're further out, but we cannot do anything at all once they're actually on the building. Oh, and apparently I blew my own thing up.
I did too.
So while they're still here, we can continue to attack them, but as you can see, all down there, you're running the risk. And obviously, once they're inside the building, you definitely can't attack them. Okay, so we've seen it with a small zombie force now, and how, even though they've took out all of the things, they've still not broken through the building. And this is your likely outcome on a Horde night. This is why I like one of these for the first few Horde nights. And then as you start getting concrete and stuff like that, we move over to this kind of defense here, and you can get your XP. Obviously, that has less advantages for XP gaining. That has a lot more, but it has more risk. Well, let's see how this does when we send in tons of Horde like we did the second time, and see how Sephian does. So as you can see, there are still plenty of zombies alive. However, the building is very much still intact, and Sephian is still getting a good amount of kills as well. He's got one hitting him. Now remember, this is set on insane difficulty as well, so they are causing more damage than they normally would. But you can clearly see this building is going to survive. Not much of it's going to survive. And if this was a Horde night, you'd have a lot less zombies than this. But to simulate the damage over a shorter period of time, to put in a whole hell of a lot more zombies. And I think you can see the effects that it is having. So we'll see how long Sephian can survive. And then we'll come back and see what's left on it. So as you can see, we left them be until we managed to kill them all, and I'd say a good 75% of the building is still standing. Now I did have a little play and I threw some grenades in there, and obviously because the building's made of cobblestone, it didn't affect it. Now one thing you can do that I have had a play around with, and I'll just grab some we'll just grab some wood blocks for now. But one thing I did do in one of my little tests was I actually purposely built a little hole. Oh, if I don't, I've just closed my hole up. I didn't want to do that. Let's just get, where are we? There's a chainsaw. Reopen our hole up. And I'll just have to break the oh, I didn't want to do that. We'll just break this roof here as well. Obviously, you won't put this in if you was actually planning on doing this. You'd already have a hole. So there we have a little bit of a hole. It's got two ways up, so nobody can jump up and get it. If Sephian remains there, he's going to show us how this works when I toss him some grenades. There you go, Sephian. There's a grenade. Now what Sephian's going to do is he's going to drop the grenades down here. Now this is another way of using this quite safely and entertaining some experience. Now I'm going to spawn in some zombies and we're going to watch and see what happens when he decides to drop grenades down there. So we have 50 zombies in there, and Sephian's going to right click to arm the grenade first. There we go, and left click it down the hole. Loads of kills there, look at that. Another great way of getting experience using this building quite safely, and as you can see it's doing minimal damage. Okay, he decided to try and blow up the top of it, then blowing himself up. But as you can see, we had 50 zombies in there and a couple of grenades killed it. So if you do manage to find some grenades, store them, save them. You can do the same with Molotovs as well, so you can throw a Molotov down there. Molotovs are great because it's just so satisfying setting fire to them. So just bear that in mind if you get yourself a lot of grenades, store them up. Okay, so third and final test here is going to be this little build here. Now there are two things with this, and I want to set an example, which is why it's got one side fully blocked off and one side not. As I discussed with that there, that is what you're aiming to get to at a later stage, and this is what it looks like if you're going to build something out of it. Now this is a little bit of a test. Now one side here you can shoot out of, which is why this is small and a big pillar is effective, because when we come to actually use it in a minute, you'll see that we can still shoot out of it. But most zombies will aim for the easiest route, which is obviously this little entranceway here. Now we're going to try and funnel them into here, and this is another way of kind of getting a bit of an XP farm. So generally not on a horde night, but if you're out and about and you set yourself something up like this, you get a screamer, you can get a screamer to keep bringing you some zombies in. You can fast get yourself quite a lot of wandering hordes. If it is really effective and you've got the weaponry for it, you can set this up for a horde night, which is why I'm mentioning it now, and this will give you plenty of experience. So let us set it up and see how Sephian does when he's in there. Now I'm going to give him an N60 for this with an extended mag, so you can see what it would be like if you were geared up, because you won't be doing this with a pistol because you won't survive. So back in a second, let's see how it goes. Okay, so Sephian is safely in our little block over there. He's going to be watching that entranceway, and let's see how the zombies react when we put them in now. And let's see what happens. There we go, we're off. And as you can see, Sephian can shoot from the side, but they're coming to the entranceway and they're funneling in, and he's pretty much just rinsing them. Now you're not going to get this many coming through at once, but so as you can see, this is a very effective way of getting experience points. So hopefully you've liked this video. Hopefully it's giving you a bit of an idea on kind of some base builds, some designs yourself that you can use. That's the first one there, and obviously that's the other one that we used there, and something that you're going to be aiming towards at a later stage. You can see how effective that was here. We could attack right through it, but they went for the gap, and you can use a sort of funneling system in that, using multiple layers of walls and stuff like that, using spike traps, using your blade traps, using turrets, etc, etc. There's plenty of things you can do as you move through this game. That's the good thing about this game. There is more than one way to reach the end goal, which is of course killing zombies. So from myself and from Sephion, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode, and we shall see you on the next one. If you've liked Sephion being involved in this episode and you'd like to see him in later ones, let me know in the comments section below. Otherwise, make sure you do check out his channel, which I will link in the description below. But until next time, everybody, take care for now. Bye bye. You're supposed to pull the... There you go.